So there we go, Flex. Wow, Alan Brazil this morning on his very own breakfast show simply claiming that he's got inside sources at Old Trafford and he believes, or as his information, that the Manchester United players are not having Erik Ten Hag. What do you make of that?
I mean, you know, that's Alan's understanding of the situation.
Sure.
You know, someone he knows, he's saying has told him that. What I'll say is, from a fan perspective, is obviously results aren't going well, and it does look like certain players are, you know, definitely not playing to their strongest capabilities. But I don't know. You look at how Manchester United won that last game, and the feeling that it gave them, and how they celebrated, and they managed to keep going to the end to win that game in a game that really was bad, where Man United did not look like scoring. Obviously, Scott McTominay coming off the bench to do that, a player who's been on the periphery and, you know, was nearly going to go in the summer. But yeah, he's kept his mind fresh. He's stuck at it. He's come in and impacted the game. Harry Maguire, you know, been taking a lot of pelters, been taking a lot of criticism for his time at Manchester United. Comes in, has a solid game against Brentford, gets an assist. So that shows that, you know, some players are buying into it. Look, I think with what's happened at United, and this is what I'm always wary of in the media as well, is that because of what's happened at United or happening at United, it's very easy to weigh down. It's very easy for stories to come out and for them to be quite relatable, for them to be quite believable, because results aren't there, players aren't in the squad, there's fallings out. You know, you're looking at the Jadon Sancho situation to name one. And it's easy then when the results aren't going on to sort of kind of hypothesize as to, it probably means that most of them aren't trying, and it probably means that Man United aren't playing to their best. There is a lot going on, and Erik Ten Hag's trying to sort it out. But I think most of the team is on board and trying to do the right thing. It's just that we've just been making a lot of mistakes.
I agree with you. These stories happen a lot whenever a team, certainly one of the big boys, is going through a tricky period. It's always, well, are the players playing for the manager? Has there been a falling out? And there's no way that can be the case every single time. No. And as you rightly said, Flex, you know, it didn't look like a Man United team on Saturday that weren't fighting and weren't fighting for the badge of the manager, right?
It looked like one that, like I said, lacked quality and lacked creativity, and Andre Onana made a massive howler, and that's how Brentford scored. You know, all of these things are true. I'm not trying to paint this picture that everything is okay at Manchester United, because it's not. Erik Ten Hag is literally firefighting every single day. Since he's walked into that club, the amount of things he's had to deal with, and then on top of that, the scrutiny that's on top of his performance, which is deserved, he's had to deal with a lot.
Are you 100%, as you sit here right now, 100% behind Erik Ten Hag still?
100%.
There's no doubts in your mind.
You asked me this after we lost.
Sure.
I definitely think after we win, but no, it didn't just change by one game. But I remember talking to you about this a couple of weeks ago, and absolutely, look, when you're rebuilding something from scratch, which even under Ten Hag, with how the club is, you know, may not even happen how we want to see it happen in the end. It might not. But there has to be this collateral. There has to be this sort of, these rough, awful moments where Manchester United fans aren't silly. We knew that even by getting Erik Ten Hag from where we're coming from, or where we're trying to get to, it's probably going to get worse before it even gets better again. And now we're in that period again. Little bit of Cloud9 last year, finished third, trophy, and now we've got a bit of adversity. But, you know, he has to weed out players who he thinks that aren't up to it, or aren't going to be part of his philosophy, or aren't going to have the right attitude, or aren't on board with what he wants to do. And that might annoy a few in the dressing room as well. And maybe he wants to weed them out as well.
And also, I'm not being funny, but if he can win the battle against Cristiano Ronaldo and stand up face-to-face with Cristiano Ronaldo and win that battle and come out of that battle, where I think his reputation was at a real high, wasn't it? And the Man United fans were like, wow, we respect this guy, fair play. And I'm not being funny, but if anyone else in that dressing room wants to throw their toys out of the pram, then let them do it.
Then buy as well.
And do you know what, by the way? I really, really hope that the Man United fans are like you and stick with Erik Ten Hag and back him, because you know what, last season he had to deal with a lot, didn't he? And in his first season he got you guys in the top four, he got you to 2 domestic finals, and I saw article after article where people going, wow, this guy's done great, this guy's done brilliant, the best manager since Fergie. And you know what, after a couple of tricky games,
all of a sudden it's over after 8 games.
It's so football in 2023. It's people on social media moaning. And I feel like when I watch United on TV, I feel like the atmosphere of that football club, people are behind Erik Ten Hag, and I really, really hope you guys stick with him, because I think that I've seen enough to show that he's the right man. He's a strong enough character and a good enough coach to take you guys forward.
Absolutely. And look, it isn't perfect, Sam. It's not. I'm not going to sit here.
But you said he was never going to come back in and just click his fingers and take you guys up to Man City.
You know, Gary Neville said, not long ago, Man United's like a graveyard.
He said that to me.
Right, he did say it
in
to
my
you.
interview,
He said it to you. There you go. So there's bigger things that are bigger than Erik Ten Hag within the institution that are wrong at Man United. But Erik Ten Hag has done a good job in starting to unpick what's going on. Is he going through a rough patch now? Absolutely. It's a worst start to a Premier League season in 34 years.
Flex, Mikel Arteta. Look, Mikel Arteta and Jurgen Klopp, two current Premier League
big players.
Mikel Arteta was on. I remember I was working as a producer, assistant producer on Breakfast, and I remember every caller that phoned in, most pundits on this station, most people who worked on this floor said, Arteta, no, not having him, get rid of him. They saw a good coach there, Arsenal. They backed him. They let him build his squad. And obviously now, look, they will win a Premier League under him. Even Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, it was never as bad Liverpool, but it took him time to come in, get rid of the deadwood, bring in the players he wants, and implement that style. And of course, now Liverpool have won every single trophy possible under Jurgen Klopp. So Arteta and Klopp are two good managers, two good examples of it might not just be instant success in the first season, but if you see a plan there, see a vision, stick with the manager. And I believe you. I think even if it gets a lot more worse, United are going to back this guy.
Yeah, I definitely think United will back him. Of course, you can't get a free hit. Results dictate. I get it. And there is a cut-off point. We can't give Erik Ten Hag a free pass to just lose 10 games on the bounce or something.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
But it's never got that bad.
It's never got that bad. So I think we'll stick with him.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.